The first time they call you mom and dad, the first time they make the connection, the first
Yeah.
time there's a thunderstorm, they come running to you for comfort. You know you've made a difference in the child's life. You know they feel that they can trust you, that they feel safe with you. The little guy at the end of the
Yeah.
night when he gives you a big hug and tells you, I love you. Actually,
Yep.
with him, it's, I love you so much.
Yep.
It's just like, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this.
Yep. To give them a better life.
To give them a chance at a
Yeah.
life. There is so much support.
Right.
There
Yes.
are, there are so many different levels of support for these children. A GA makes sure of it. We're not flying by the seat of our pants. They're
Right.
there. Anytime we need them, they're there. It,
Right. You can call them any time of day, and they'll help you.
and then there's the classes where you're talking with the other foster parents. A need for foster care
Yes. There's a lot of kids out there that want someone just to love them and take care of them.
where they feel safe.
Yep.
Every day is
Yeah,
not a
it's
walk in the
true.
park. It's not easy. But when you feel you're making a difference, when you feel you're helping these kids out, when you're giving these kids a chance at a life, safe, secure,
Yeah. Love.
love. When we look back to what, 2.5 years ago, where we were
Yeah. To where we are
to
now.
where we are
Yeah.
now, our kids are awesome. I mean, our kids are great. They have made huge strides.
Yeah.
We're not super parents. We're not, it's just getting the services, getting what they need in place for these kids, giving them a stable environment and watching them thrive. It's just amazing to watch.
Some of the benefits of being a parent is being able to empower kids that maybe came from nothing. I think the benefit for me is seeing them happy that they actually accomplished something that maybe that they always wanted to, but didn't have the know-how or the skill to do it. Um, that's it's rewarding. What is it like getting a new child in our home? For us, we're excited. Um, for the child, they tend to be shy, and it's like strangers. They don't know. Like, I think they come in with their guard up, um, and after like a week or so, as they tend to get comfortable, we notice a change in their behaviors from whatever they, um, I don't know if I want to say baggage or whatever they was exposed to or whatever they experienced. Some of the biggest things children are looking for when they come into a home, they're looking for love, stability. They want some kind of a normal life as anybody would. I think a lot of kids, when they come into foster care, my experience, they come into our home and they say, oh, this is just another foster care home. They refer to it as if it's like a program. Through time and building relationships is when I notice they tend to calm down and start to feel like they're actually at home and don't look at it as it's a program that they're in. Children don't change overnight. We've been working with children that have difficult behaviors, and as we're working with them, it's like you're planting seeds, but you really don't realize that you're doing it until one day. We had kids in our home that it took us years, and one day it's like a switch just comes on. I think as a foster parent, the greatest gift is seeing the child change to something that they want to become. We have seen children come into our home that were just so broken. And then to see them just out of nowhere, just like naturally, you don't even notice it, it just happens. They just change and able to function like everyone else. You would never have thought that that was the same child that came into your home. Here's where they are now. This is what they went through before, and then all of a sudden, just through time, you need time. They need time. I would tell a person that want to become a foster parent that it's a challenge.
but always give it a chance. Open up your house, especially if you have a family, a nice, comfortable home, a nice, warming family, and it's a challenge, but it's worth the while, especially at the end when you see the child do a transformation, change totally to someone else.
I would tell them don't give up. Don't give up on the child. What it's like being a foster parent is actually being a parent. You're being a parent a child like to a child you never had before. Very rewarding. Some of the benefits I've seen being a foster parent in children is being able to change their lives, being able to give a child self-esteem, um, motivation, and definitely empower them to accomplish things that they maybe thought they never could accomplish.
What it's like living in foster care is like being in a second home, but way better. Like you do things that you never done before. I call them mommy and daddy because it's like they're like our parents, but then we have other sets of parents. Like we want them to feel comfortable, not just like we just living with them just to be living with. We want to live with them because we want them to know how much we love them, how much we appreciate them taking care of us. I call them mom talks because they like our parents and they tell us everything we never knew before, and we go places and we have fun, and they good parents and they family. We just act like a family, and
they go outside the box.
I would like to tell my mom and dad that they're the best parents and they taught me new things, and I love them.
My name is Heather Kelto. I am the mom of 5 children. 3 of my children are adopted. 2 are biological. We adopted a sibling group of 3 girls. I live here with my husband, Mike. We've been married for 13 years. And we are also an open home for foster children to keep accepting if the need is there. Our choice to foster through GA as an agency was one of the most educated choices we made. When meeting with GA and with the staff there, number one, the first thing was sit right down like a family, let's talk. Assured right off the bat that the presence would be there in the home, checking, making sure you're doing 100% of a job and that the room was always safe. They had everything they needed. It was the same as any other child in the home. I just felt like the goal of GA is for the kids as opposed to for some sort of money-making business. I felt like the kids had a shot and we were going to get all the support that we needed. The most rewarding thing about being a foster parent is much like if somebody's a teacher and they see that aha moment for a child, whether it be the first time they were taken to a county fair and their eyes are as big as beach balls because they've never seen anything like that before, and you give them a wristband and you go, it's all you can ride, and they go, what? Or why don't we get something to eat? And they're like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, eat, it's okay, like go ahead, and just they feel like they're number one. And for some kids, whether they're 7 or 17, that may be the first time. And so being there, knowing that you've given them 100% and you treat all of your kids equally and you have these moments, these breakthrough moments, and whether they're small or large, those are the most positive moments. So you kind of go to bed with a smile. The message that I would give to anybody thinking about becoming a foster parent is the one that I take with me, and that is there are very few moments in life when you are given the opportunity to save or change a life. And that is exactly what foster parenting is. You are saving lives and you are changing lives.
Being adopted with my sisters made me feel happy, so I didn't miss them when I grew up because we might have been apart. I know a family's good when the kids are happy and they're happy and nothing happens to them. This is what happy looks like.
The benefit of being a foster parent, there are so many benefits, too many to really number, but the love when you've accomplished what you've worked so hard to accomplish. You take these children that are so wounded, they've been so damaged and misused and abused, They come kicking and screaming and fighting. They run away from school. They refuse to do work. They refuse to go to bed at night. They break things. But you work with them and you show all the patience that you can. And sometimes it's just, you need to hug them, just love them. And you watch them begin to blossom. It's kind of like a flower that takes a very long time. But when it's bloomed, it's the most beautiful flower you could see. I have 4 children that I've adopted, and it's been the greatest experience of my life. If you were to ask me about GA Family Services, I would have to tell you that I followed them from Lockport to West Seneca. That's a distance. I travel there because they're good. I've had a wonderful experience with the caseworkers that I've worked with. There were times that I would call several times a day because I was having issues with one of my children. They were always there to take my call. They would sit on the phone and talk with my troubled young man for an hour if they needed to, just to help him, to de-escalate him, to avoid any further issues. They were there to listen to me if I needed to talk to them. We are really officially part of the GA family.
GA Family Services is a foster care agency, and we also assist families through the process of adoption with whatever child they're fostering to adopt at that time. GA Family Services has a very hands-on approach with our foster parents. When we place a child and when we're certifying families, we make it very clear that our caseworkers will be in your home once a week. We will be there to support you through every step of the way. It's very much a team effort. We don't just drop kids off and say, bye, good luck. We're there to support them through behavioral concerns, mental health concerns, because a lot of the kids that come to us have experienced a lot of trauma and neglect. And once they're placed in a home, we see a lot of behavioral issues. So the caseworker from GA is in the home every single week with that family, supporting them and making sure that they have everything they need to best serve this child in their home. One of the things we look at when we're recruiting foster parents is commitment. When you ask a lot of the children that are placed with us what they're looking for in a foster family, they always say, 99% of them say, I want to feel safe. I want to know that when I go home that I'm going to have a bed to sleep in, that I'm going to have food to eat, that I'm going to be warm. And again, they always say, I want to feel safe. And that can mean so many different things to just one child, the feeling of security, the feeling of stability, the feeling of safety. I think some of the perks of being a foster parent is being able to change a child's life. And sometimes I don't think that they even realize how much of an impact that they have on the children placed in their home. I think another great perk of being a foster parent, especially those who foster to adopt, is the ability to adopt a child from a situation that they weren't able to return to. That situation wasn't safe, and then they had the ability to change this child's life.